going on, Jerome's Minnesota Vikings training camp is upon us, and it's not so much about the stars. Of course, Justin freaking Jefferson, and also the new guys, Diamond Dallas Turner, J.J. McCarthy. Well, part of it is about them, but I always love when guys get an opportunity working up from the bottom of the 90-man, maybe making the practice squad, maybe making the 53, and also having a huge opportunity to do a little something. And there's a couple of Vikings this year in camp that have a massive opportunity in front of them if they will indeed carpe diem, seize the day. So first up is King Kene and Wangu, as well as Tai Chandler. Now, Tai Chandler as a running back and King Kene as a kick returner. So Chandler now working in conjunction with Aaron Jones. Jones is going to be 30 in December. So Tai Chandler truly has an opportunity here to become the lead back for the Vikings moving forward. And we saw him last year when given opportunity behind Alexander Madison, especially that Cincinnati game, putting up 100 yards and 6+ yards a carry. He's explosive. He's a great receiver. The pass blocking is coming together, and I think he's going to learn a lot from Aaron Jones as a mentor this year as well. So Kene has an interesting opportunity here. I don't see him contributing much as a running back. I just don't at this point. But I think that with the new kickoff rules, where there's going to be many more returns, and it basically pans out more like a punt return, I think Kene has a chance to be really special this year. Like, honestly, potentially seeing 2-3 taken back to the house, leading the league in kick return yardage, all Pro Bowl, all that stuff. I honestly could see King Kene becoming a huge weapon with the new kick return rules, and I don't think enough people are talking about it. I think it's going to be a great opportunity. Also, he's in a contract year, so that would make things interesting. Also interesting is Brandon Powell. So he was brought back on a one-year deal, and last year he was brought aboard because Kevin O'Connell, they go way back like chiropractic to the Rams days, and he made some big-time plays. Caught the game-winning touchdown against the Falcons, and basically he's been inserted as de facto wide receiver 3 behind Jefferson and Addison. Now, a lot of competition to go. Jalen Naylor's looking good. Sherfield's looking fantastic. Tristan Jackson has had some nice moments as well. And also, I don't know if the Vikings settle on like a true wide receiver 3, where it is that 3-deep triumvirate, but it could be a wide receiver 3 in aggregate. But Powell, even though he's undersized, he does have some shiftiness. He does have some experience with Kevin O'Connell, as well as I think that he could be an asset working from the slot, and also does have some big play ability of his own. So I think that Brandon Powell really does have a chance to solidify his spot with the Vikings. And also, let's not ignore the fact that Addison potentially could be facing discipline either from the league or from the Vikings. Now, it may not be this year because, of course, the legal process does get stretched out. So it could be looking next year. But either way, I mean, Powell, he's got the love and trust of Kevin O'Connell. Let's see if he pans out with that. Next up, along the offensive line, Michael Jurgens, baby make it smooth like lotion, coming out of Wake Forest, a 7th-round pick by the Vikings. And Jurgens, athletically, great profile, as well as you love the positional flexibility. 3-year starter for the Demon Deacons at center. Last year became one of the highest rated left guards in college football. And if you look at the Vikings offensive line right now, I mean, yeah, Brandel and Ingram and Reisner are battling it out for one of the starting guard spots. Reisner also working on second-team right guard. We should shift that up. But Jurgens has been working with some second-team guard, as well as he's been the third-team center. So they do like his flexibility. And also, let's not discount the Vikings could easily move on from Garrett Bradbury. There's no guaranteed money left in his deal. He is pushing 30, also has had back issues the last couple seasons. So, I mean, Michael Jurgens could make a good case very quickly to become the starting center for the Vikings. I don't think it's that outlandish of a proposition. And with a very good camp and preseason this year, I think that Jurgens could really solidify himself in the eyes of Chris Cooper and the coaches going forward. Other side of the ball, jumping James Lynch. That's right, 4th-round pick out of Baylor from back in the day, a Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, All-American. And when he got here to the Vikings, I was super stoked, but he never really found his true position. Like, he was a little bit of a tweener, more of an edge rusher at Baylor, but doesn't have the length or quickness to be on the outside. Added a little bit of size to try and fight on the inside. And he's had moments, he's had flashes, but hasn't overall been consistent. And then last year tore his ACL in the offseason, sort of out of sight, out of mind. But the Vikings brought him back, and it does stand out because Kwesi didn't draft him. He was a Spielman draft pick, but hopefully he can get something going along this defensive line because they look to stop the run. Yes, and Phillips and Bullard are certainly great in that role. Hopefully Jerry Tillery, first-round pick, can get a little something there. But there isn't that guy who can blow up a gap and get his own pass rush. I also put James Lynch and Jaquelin Roy in the same group, maybe even Levi Drake Rodriguez, where you just need someone who could come in and blow up a gap and get some pressure and have this big opportunity. Because also remember, Phillips and Bullard are out of contract after this season, so the Vikings could be looking to retool on the inside. Now, they certainly will go hunting in free agency, but I think with a stunning performance this year, I think that James Lynch, Jaquelin Roy, maybe even LDR could have some staying power next year and beyond. Then, of course, get into the cornerbacks. So two of them, Caleb Evans, as well as Andrew Booth Jr., both have huge opportunities here, given the tragedy of Kyrie Jackson, as well as the injuries to Mekhi Blackman and potentially Shaquille Griffin. So the Vikings, basically, Murph is the only one that you can really hammer home that he's the guy. Now, Duke Shelley's going to be in that mix too, but the Vikings, they do like their homegrown young guys, and especially since, they were Kwesi's first draft class. And Evans been interesting. So whenever he was given opportunity, he's done decent, especially his rookie year with Donachelle, but unfortunately had those 3 concussions. Last year was benched several times by Flores, but kept being given opportunities because he does have talent, man. He truly does. And also I think that the scaling shift from more zone coverage last year to more press man this year could help him out immensely. And also, with the injuries, it certainly could be an opportunity for him. And Booth understands that this is basically his last chance. And these last couple weeks here in training camp and preseason, he's got to do something. He's got to show up and show out right now. Evans was the guy working with the top 3 corners with the Blackman and Shaq Griffin injury. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Evans. Like I want to buy in, but TBD. And Booth, basically it's a free roll at this point. I honestly could see the Vikings cutting or potentially even trading him for a team that loves I can change him type players. Like 7th rounder, conditional, something like that. Same thing with Lucine. Lastly, with the safeties. So Theo Jackson has turned a lot of heads. Over the last couple of years, he's played some great special teams. The coaches love him at every single practice. He's doing some good work. And if you look at the Viking safety room, so this needs to be updated because I think you can make a good case that Theo Jackson is the 4th safety right now. And Harrison Smith, probably his last season. Josh Metellus is working through his small extension. Cameron Beasley-Bynum is a free agent after this year. I would love to keep Bynum in the fold, but if Flores wants to keep rolling with the 3 safety look, and Theo Jackson could be that 3rd safety, he could have opportunity to start next season. And hey, say Beasley and the Vikings don't come to an extension, and Beasley walks in free agency, all of a sudden, with Harrison Smith potentially retiring, it could be Metellus and Theo Jackson as your top 2 safeties. And also carry on my J-Word son mixed in there as well. But either way, I like Theo Jackson a lot, and I think that he does have a massive opportunity in front of him. But that's it. 8 Vikings with huge opportunities in training camp this season. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.